everyone. Hello, 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 hello. And welcome. Welcome to the grind behind the business. Um, this is your girl, Beverly. Beverly Francois Alston, host of The Grind Behind the Business. And I am excited to be here. Got a week off last week. Was my birthday. I enjoyed it. I had a restful day. And all was well. But I am today we're going to be interviewing our special guest. And I'm going to allow her to introduce herself because she happens to be an author, an educator, and so much more. So I am going to allow my girl to introduce herself. But let's introduce our special guest tonight. Yes. How are you, sis?
Hello, how are you? I am good. I am good. Glad to be
Yay.
on the grind behind the business.
Yes, 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 yes. I am so happy. So, introduce yourself to the folks. Introduce yourself. Tell us, you don't have to tell us a lot about you because I got some questions to ask, but tell us a little bit about yourself tonight.
My name is Rana Lipsey. I am the author of several children's books. I am passionate about early education,
Mm-hmm,
especially because of the way that it's turning around in society today.
mm-hmm.
So I'm passionate about that. My number one passion is God. He is the fuel,
Yay!
he is the fire, he is the everything. He is the everything. So I pretty much flow wherever he allows me to go. I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
I live in New Jersey. I live in New
Mm-hmm.
Jersey. So I'm kind of all over, but my biggest passion right now, God is having me work on early education, resources for early education.
Wow, wow.
So yeah, that's
So,
everything in a nutshell.
not gonna give them all at once. Gonna just go
I know.
through it
I tried to
because
hold
there's
back.
so
I
much to
tried to hold
cover,
back.
right? Yes. So you know how they say we take on so many roles in our lives as
Hmm.
individual, but I think it's because of the gift that God has given to us, and what a wonderful way
Yes.
to live life when you are pursuing, your passions, and God is allowing you to live in your purpose, right? And it
Yeah.
becomes not just a work, but just an enjoyment, finding joy,
Yeah.
which is like the ultimate goal because God gives us joy. So, in the passion, when you have joy, God is blessing us, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
with that being said, the first thing we do when you are on the grind is we do the background check.
Okay.
So, the background.
It's time for the background check.
Yes, it's time for the background check. So, this is the background check. I give you a year. And whatever that year may be, you think of something that happened on that year, a testimony or something, whatever you want to speak about. But definitely tell us what was going on during that year, okay? And that the year that I have
Okay.
chosen for you would be 1997.
Oh my gosh.
What were you doing?
1997.
Because,
Nah,
we're
I
going
was
back.
preparing for
We're
like
going back.
2000s or something.
We're going
Okay.
back. We're going way back.
Way back.
Way back.
1997.
Yes.
Yes, 1997. I was
Yeah.
graduating middle school.
Wow.
Yeah, 1997 I was graduating middle school.
Yeah.
Had no scope of what the future looked like, what I'm called to do.
Mm.
God, I had no scope of that. 1997, I was young and graduating middle school.
Oh, wow.
There, there middle school in South Philadelphia.
Okay.
So yeah, I just remember this graduation. I'm going to high school. Can I live a little bit during the summertime? But it really didn't happen that way. So,
Were
but
you
yeah,
at the
1997,
instant
I was graduating
parenting?
high school. I'm sorry.
Were you under your parents, like, were they Christians where you had to go to church? And because I grew up like that, like my mom would always, I had to go to church. I had to, how the church moms or the church parents were back in the days. So being a teenager, sometimes that could be such a frustrating thing. Were you under
Hmm.
the leadership of parents who were Christians?
So my parents knew God, but they were not strict about us going to church. So I did not grow up in the church. A lot of times I went to church with like family members or neighbors or people I knew, but my parents knew God. They know God. They love God, but they were not strict with us going to church.
Hmm.
So as far as the spiritual guidance, I wouldn't say I really had that, but even throughout, as I'm older now and I'm thinking back,
Hmm.
God still had his hand on me, back then, like, because there are some things in 1997 that I could have done, or could have got caught up in. But when you look back at it, it's like, oh wow, from the beginning, God had his
Yes.
hand on me. So everything was already directed. It was like, you're not gonna go over there. No, that's not the path I have for you. So you're gonna come right here, you're gonna do what I called you to do. So yeah, so 1997, I remember graduating. I remember going to my friend's house. She had a graduation party.
Wow.
And yeah, but that's all. I don't remember the summer. I don't remember anything other than the graduation.
That's fine. At the end of the day, I think because I remember what, about a month ago, I had to fill this form out, right? And while filling the form, it asked for your date of birth. And some of those forms you have to like literally scroll down.
Yes,
And I caught
yes,
myself scrolling too. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm getting too old.
yes.
That's when you know you're getting old because, like, I'm in the 70s, early 70s, right? So, you gotta scroll through the
So who
2000s,
always
the whole
yes,
of the 90s, the 80s, and then go to the 70s. Whereas long
yes,
ago, it was so simpler, right? It was just right
yes, yes,
there.
yes.
And what it told me was, okay, Bev, we're getting mature. Yes, we're getting very mature, and
Very,
but
very
I'm loving
mature.
it. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm loving it being in my 50s. I am so proud of where I am. And I think we look good for our age.
Yes, I agree. Okay. You look darn good for 50, and I look
I
very good for
think
43.
yes, yes. You are looking marvelous, sis. You
Thank
look
you.
marvelous. So, shout out to all the beautiful black women out there. The
Yes,
black
yes,
women, who just taking care of themselves, looking good, dressing up, and just showing themselves strong within,
right,
even in
right.
this season, right? Because it is not
Yes,
easy. So much
it
is
is
going
not
on
easy.
right now. We're just praying for Jamaica. We're praying for those who have
Yes.
not really receiving an income presently with the governmental system being shut
Hmm.
down. We're just praying for so much stuff. But let's get back on track. It's all about you today. So I have your bio. You were gracious enough to provide me with a bio. Yes. So I'm going to read just a little bit and we're going to talk a little bit about it, about you. You were
Okay.
born and raised in Philadelphia. Is an early childhood educator with a passion for young children. So you're mostly an educator for kids, what, teenage?
Yeah,
Tell us about
so
that.
I can do early education as well as youth up to 18. Now I'm sure I can do past 18,
Yeah,
but as far as my patience and things of that nature, but it's wherever God takes me. But as of now, he has me focusing on the early
early
education and the youth,
education.
more of the early education and the tweens.
Yeah. So
because the
maybe up
tweens,
to
they're
about
sometimes,
12.
yeah, 12 to even 15. Sometimes
Okay.
that area is sometimes forgotten about, because but that is the most important time. They're finding
Wow.
themselves, they're going through all these emotions and hormones and anger and everything coming out of it, and
Yeah.
we don't understand why. But
Yeah.
when I sit and talk to some of them, because I also teach youth Bible study, when I sit and talk to them, they have so much to talk about. They have so much experience. in this life that they're living,
Yeah.
that if we took the time to sit and listen, it's like, oh, this is why you act this way, or this is why, you're the way that you are. It's not always because, they have an issue, or, they're just, society will say bad, but sometimes it's some of those deep rooted issues that no one ever sat down to ask them about. And I find out, it'll be a conversation where we're talking about blocks or something like that, and I find out so much
Mm.
that that they tell, or sometimes they just need to talk and get it out. So just being an advocate and being there, to support, not just in the natural, but make sure we're giving them spiritual aspect as well, because that's the
Yes.
real thing that's going to sustain them. So
That's the beautiful thing about being a kingdom builder,
yeah.
and we were just talking about that before we got on air, that, it's one thing to have the business aspect, and I am so big on supporting entrepreneurs, but it's even better to have God's children, kingdom business.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
goes with the challenge of, while we're building the business, we're also building God's kingdom. And so we include the
Yes. Yes.
principles in teaching and building and lifting up and motivating. So you get to mold
Hmm.
those young minds, through God's
Yeah.
principle,
Yeah.
not just through the educational system and all that you are putting into
Hmm.
it, but with God in mind. And I love that. That is so
Yes, with
awesome.
God in mind.
Yes, always, right? Always, always. We're
Always.
serving. Yes. So, through her love, she seeks to bring awareness, everyday issue on developmental age appropriate level for young children. Rona receives her bachelor degree in early childhood education from Chestnut Hill College. That's right up the street from me.
Yeah. All
I
right.
love Chestnut Hill. I did a couple credits at Chestnut Hill. I love them. You have two master's degree, one in education and the other in educational administration, both from Grand Canyon University.
Yes.
So I have a bachelor degree in business management. I cannot even
Mhm.
imagine what you had to go through and deal with having two degrees. Listen, sis, this is awesome, and it's a master degree. Oh my gosh,
Yeah. The
that takes
second one
time.
has a story behind it. The second master's degree has a testimony behind it.
Yes. Do you want to tell us
So
about the
I
testimony?
sure, I don't mind. We're here. We might as well talk,
Here,
right?
we're here. Listen, we got some time.
So the second one, I received on COVID. I mean, not COVID. I received, during the pandemic.
Okay.
And it was because I was experiencing hurt with the heart. I was experiencing some heart pain. I was in a relationship. It ended very abruptly and very, hurtfully.
Mm,
So my mind, I needed to keep my mind focused, because my mind was starting to drift and, go to different things, because I was dealing with depression, I was dealing with oppression, I was dealing with low self-esteem. Like, I was dealing with so much stuff during that time. And so between, it was so deep that church wasn't even helping.
wow.
So I had to find something to keep my mind busy. And so that's when I enrolled back in school, because I had just graduated maybe less than a year before with the first one.
Mm,
And so when all that happened, I said, I can't lose my mind. I got to get my mind focused on something. So between the word and the academics, that's what helped me get that. I can't even remember the journey from the second master's, because it was a lot happening. Like, I feel like I just ran through that master's
yeah.
degree, because it was so much happening at that time, but I needed to keep my mind focused. So along with God, along with academics, that's what helped me. So
Wow, wow, wow. That's an awesome journey. Like, just to embark upon, just having
mhm.
to, most people can't even get to the associates. and to finish off. And I know it really takes a lot when you get to the mastery level. So to have two
Yeah.
mastery, that's an awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, I am. Kudos to you, sis. Kudos.
Thank you.
Kudos to you, sis. Kudos. I am going to finish up your bio. She has been educating
Okay.
young minds spiritually, which is what we talked about, and academically for over 15 years and plans to continue through her
Yes.
writing. Rona believes that children are like flowers, saying, if you water them with love, knowledge, and positive guidance, then they will blossom into one of God's most beautiful creation that will do amazing things in this world. Yes. Be on the lookout as she releases her new book series as we explore the life of the main character, Treasures. Okay. So, is your book now? We're going to move into your book because you have a children's book out, right? Now, is this book more
Hmm.
fictional? Is it based more educational? What type of book is this?
So I have the Treasure Journey series. That's a series of different. It's about five of them. We have another one in illustration right now,
Mhm.
and that series talks about different things. As a young children, talks about little different things that Treasure goes through. I have two special books in that series.
Mm.
One one was published during the Black Lives Matter movement,
Mhm.
because I remember being at work and I remember hearing a child upset because a friend couldn't play with them,
Right.
and they don't understand, they don't understand racism at that age. They just know that's my best friend, we can't play together. So that inspired me to write a book. That inspired me to write a book called We Love You the Most. And in that story, it talks about a friend, and all of a sudden the friend couldn't play with her. She
Mhm.
got sad, but her parents were there to encourage her, let her know, no matter, you're gonna go through things in this world, but no matter what, at the end of the day, we love you the most. We'll
Mhm.
always be here to support you. We'll always be
Yeah.
here to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
So that's one. The other special in that series is Grandma's New Home. And because
Mhm.
I am in North Philadelphia, I see a lot of children dealing with grief from the loss of loved ones. So that book helps with dealing with death. It speaks about, Treasure has a grandma passed away, and the parents are there again to encourage them, let them know, hey, a loved one passed away, but we can always keep them alive in our hearts. So that's one. That's another one. And then there's a couple more in that series,
Yeah.
but the main one that you had on the screen is that's an educational resource. The Ready
Yes.
Set
Yes.
Learn,
Yes.
and that is the pre-K preparation book for kindergarten. So in
Nice.
that book, you have, writing your name, you have writing letters, you have beginning writing, you have tracing, and things of that nature for your pre-K child as they move on to kindergarten. And so my goal with the early education is to come up with a curriculum, a
Mm.
curriculum that, because the way the world is changing, a lot of parents are going to start homeschooling their children. And
So
so I
true.
want to provide resources on a, early education level that I can, provide for the parents who are looking to. Because when you think of early education, you think, oh, I need something to do with my child.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to create a plan from morning to end. It's like you're their teacher. Your circle time, your small groups, your outdoor play, all those things combined in a curriculum that will be available for parents to use at home with their children.
Oh my gosh, sis, I am so in love with that idea. I am so in love, and I'm in love with the fact that God is preparing you for what's to come. Because a lot of people
Yes.
have that right now, a major burden in their heart to do a thing, because He's preparing them for such a time as this and using your
Yes.
gift. And this is awesome because you're right. When you hear how the government is shutting down, you see what's going on with the educational system and what's happening right now as as people with the gift, who have the education, who has the knowledge, who have the resources and tools that will be able to work and provide for these kids, we got to prepare ourselves to be able to give that to the kids
Yes.
when these things are no longer available. School, at any of the educational system, that can go at any time, right?
Right,
And we're
right,
seeing
right.
that today. And so we need
Yes.
people like you. The one thing that stood out for me as you were talking is the book for grief. Because I can't imagine as a child how you deal with grief.
Yes.
I think we
Yes.
forget to have that conversation with the kids because we're so caught
Right.
up with our own selves.
Own
Um,
emotions, right.
we forget to include the child in that conversation when a mother or auntie or a grandma or grandpa
Hmm.
dies, whomever that's close to that child. Talk to me about that. What kind of thing you can provide that will provide education? Is it an educational book for children basically, or for the parents teaching them how to educate the child during the grief moment or during that grief period?
So it's a storybook. It's about, it's in the Treasure Journey series. And it's a story that talks about Treasure, how she left her grandmother, how she visited her
Mm,
grandmother.
mm,
And then in the story, it slowly takes them down the path of grandma passing away. You know, it doesn't say grandma died. It doesn't say grandma's dead. It doesn't say that, but it says grandma went to a new home, and because I love God and I'm trying to incorporate him at every foundation,
yeah.
the new home was heaven,
Mm,
so it's not hard
mm-hmm,
talking about death, but it's a soft conversation. And whenever I read this story with children, the first thing you hear is my such and such passed away, or I remember when such and such passed away, and they never got to talk about it. You never heard their emotion
mm,
behind the loss of someone. Because like you said, a lot of times it's the adults, we're focused on our emotions, we're planning funerals, we're doing that, we're having our moments. And sometimes, I know some adults do, but sometimes we forget to sit down and say, "Hey, how you feeling? How you feeling about,
yeah.
this person passing away? What emotions are you feeling? Are you happy today?
Yeah.
Are you sad today?" And then what happens is that they come to school where I am at, with the teacher, and then we have these different behaviors that happen because they're dealing with these emotions that they never got to get out,
Yeah.
So so it's a storybook, talks about Treasure and her grandmother. The grandmother passes away, the mother, and even in the book the mother shows emotion, she cries, Treasure sees that the mother cries, and
Yeah.
then they talk about, they sit and eat ice cream and they talk about memories of grandma,
Yeah.
to keep them, to let them know, like, even though she's not here with us, she's here in our heart, and let's talk about good memories every time she comes up in our mind.
That's awesome. That really is. That right there just stuck out to me. You don't get a lot of books like that, right? Sure, there's so much self-help books out there, authors and stuff that talks about grief, but it's always you hear it on an adult level, right?
Hmm.
And so that really touched me hearing that you created something or you wrote something for kids because they need that. They really do. Just like adults, we
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to govern our minds and mentally get ourselves together and go through that grief there in the right way. We really need to include the kids during that time as well because I think they do get affected. They may not say anything, but obviously
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
affected by it.
You can
Yes.
see it. Yes.
My God, my God. And I can only imagine what teachers have to go through when kids are going through that and the kids come to school,
Yeah.
preschool. They're already jittery and, so a lot of
Yeah.
times, this is what I want to ask. So a lot of times you see kids out there that may have behavioral problems and it may span from something like that no one takes or keeps in mind, and the teacher may see that child and think, well, oh my gosh, why is the child acting up this way? But that's
Yeah.
really good, sis. That is really good. I'm going to finish up your bio. It says Rona is also the creator of Ready Set Learn, which is what we just talked about. fun and engaging tool designed to help preschoolers build the foundational skill they need as they prepare for kindergarten. She has also developed the Victorious Team, a Bible study resource created to guide and inspire teens as they grow in their faith and navigate life challenges. I love that. I'm presently working, or I work with this teen entrepreneur program, and I love working with teens. They keep you so young, they keep you on your toes, you know.
Yes.
So the Victorious Teen, tell us about that book specifically, because I know that would have to be designed in a specific way because it has to attract the minds of a teenager, because they have a whole different
Mm-hmm.
mindset
Mm-hmm.
altogether, right? It's like,
Yes. Yes.
so tell me about
So
the Victorious
yes, no,
Teen.
you're absolutely right. So the
Tell,
Victorious team,
mm-hmm,
as we mentioned before, it's a tool,
mm-hmm.
and it's about maybe a little over 100 pages, and it has daily activities to do. We start with your feelings wheel. I incorporated a feelings wheel into the book. So,
Oh,
and this wheel has more than just happy, sad, angry. No, it has about 30 different feelings that connects to other feelings, like foundational feelings, like why are you feeling this way? Are you happy because you're angry, or are you? So it kind of combines the two feelings together to feel like, to get the foundation of what are you really feeling. Because sometimes when we talk about God with teens, we make God sound so hard. We make him sound so like he
wow.
doesn't care about how you feel, just do the work. But the book is designed to help them um understand the heart of God. He's not just the God of the preachers and the adults, but he's also the God of the children and the teens. He's also the God of the teens with low self-esteem and things like that. So the book has different activities in it. It's, like I said, it's about maybe close to 100, over 100 of different activities. It covers prayer, easy ways to help them talk to God that doesn't seem so deep, but it's very effective. Talks about building, their spiritual goals. Like, what do you how strong do you want to grow in God, and what goals can we, set for you to do that? It talks about praying for others along with yourself. It's just so many different um things in the book and ideas in the books and strategies in the books to get them focused on the book. Like, you can use it for your youth group, or they can just use it to build a relationship with themselves. I have a couple of families that actually use the tool as a family Bible study that they have together, to engage their youth and their teens into, being a part of growing faith together as a family. So it's a very good book. I have a couple churches that are using the tool for their small groups and their youth Bible study. My church we use the tool for our
Yeah,
Sunday school
wow.
session. So it's a very good tool, and yeah, it's very beneficial. So if you don't have, it's pretty easy. Like, if you don't have anything for your team to use to grasp the guide, at least get them the book. Like, you can
Yeah.
literally give them that book, and if they follow that book, they will fall in love with God. They will gain a relationship with God.
Wow.
Because I get it. Sometimes life is lifing, and you don't have the tools. You don't know what to do to get them involved. Give them the book, okay? Let them go through it page by page, and they can start it allows it has scripture on there, of course.
Yes.
There's a volume 2 on the way where it talks more about the stories in the Bible. Have them go into the Bible and actually read the Bible verses, and
Yeah.
break it down for themselves and their own understanding. So yeah, it's a pretty good tool. I was excited when God gave that one.
Wow. No, that's an awesome thing. You know what I love as I'm listening to you and I'm hearing how you're sharing the information, but the passion also that you put into the books that you create. What I'm hearing is that I'm not just hearing it, but I'm seeing you're sort of an advocate for the
Yeah,
kids, not just for kids but for teens, and
yeah,
I'm seeing a pattern in the books that you're creating. Not only is it sharing the academic part of what they need and the spiritual part of what they need, but you're also including the emotional part of this.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's more of a
yeah. That's
holistic
important.
point of view coming together, and people can use it to teach their kids. So they're not just learning academically, but spiritually and the emotional as well. And we do need to
Yeah.
tap into that. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. A lot of youth are going through things that they don't talk about, you know. And I
Mm,
feel like if you give them an outlet, you can find out a lot of things. You know, some
yeah,
things that you're like, oh my gosh, some things I have to keep a straight face for because it's like I can't show the real emotional what they're telling me, but sometimes it's, and I thank God for that gift because you definitely have to have a passion
yeah,
because you have to know
yeah,
when this is a
yeah,
serious issue or if this is
yeah,
a behavior concern.
agree.
You have to know when to tap in past your emotions. Oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. I don't want to do like I come home every day and I am very, sometimes overwhelmed, but when I go back to the blueprint,
Yeah.
is to understand that, someone has to be their outlet. Someone has to help them, open up and talk about the things that they just can't talk about, you know?
Wow, wow. That is awesome, sis, to have that in mind. I love that concept. The world needs to get this because so many books come out and they separate them. But what an awesome
Yeah.
thing that you combine it all. So it's like a
Yeah.
holistic version, which is what God is, right? Because it's mind,
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
and soul. And yeah, you're right. Life be life. Life be life.
Life be life.
Mm.
But one thing I can say, if you are really tuned in to the kingdom right now,
Yeah.
God should be stirring up something in you. He should be stirring up, creativity. He should be like how many midnight hours are you up, working on that gift or that thing that he's placed in you? Like I really had to pray the other day and had to ask him, help me not put so much in other people's things instead of the stuff that you've given me to do.
Because he's
Because
given us
if
a
you're
world.
on with the kingdom,
Yeah,
yes,
he
between the
has given
gifts and
us
the talents, and
listen,
I looked at the
just
world.
say it again. No, because
Yeah,
as a business coach, I'm trying to get people to understand it's in you. The gift
yeah,
is in you.
yeah.
And we gotta stir it up. And sometimes
You
God
gotta
be
stir it
trying to
up.
stir us up, but some of our mind, it's the mindset. I do believe
Yeah, yeah.
it's a mindset. It's sometimes cultural, it's sometimes, environmental,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, oh my gosh, low self-esteem, la da da da.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my prayer for anyone that may have that burden within them is that God stirs it up
Yeah,
because He's
yeah.
placed it in us, right? He didn't just wake you up. He didn't just have you, pop into this world and then give you the gifts. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether um, an author, a minister, a ministry, a
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit, whatever it may be. This is an awesome time, but I think there's so much fear.
Yeah, yeah.
Mental fear, fear of losing, fear financially. And sometimes, in order to pursue the passion, we have to let God establishes, and that's scary. That can be a
Yes, I
scary way
agree.
of doing it. Yeah, that's scary for most people, especially now. But I believe
Mm-hmm.
that now more than ever, we do have to start pursuing the dreams because there's someone waiting in the balance to get what you can provide. What there's a
Yeah,
problem out there that you can solve or is waiting to be solved by you, and you may be just lottie dottie in it all through,
yeah, yeah.
year after year, and your gift is remaining dormant and not being stirred up, or you're not taking it seriously, and that
Mm-hmm.
person or that thing that's waiting for you to come and step in and do what you have to do gets left back, and a testimony gets thrown out the door. So yeah, I
Yes.
love it, sis. I love it. And you are in like really in your lane and you're preparing your own table. And I love that. Um,
Yes.
so what's next for you in the coming years? What is something that you're looking to pursue? Because I hear educator, right? I hear author, and I hear you telling me that you're being stirred up to prepare for certain things coming. So what? Give us a little smidget.
So I was talking to my family and close friends. I my prayer is that I'm 43, and
Okay.
my prayer is that in 2 years that I will be out of work because God will have me doing full time ministry and entrepreneurship. Um, because the I think the fear is with entrepreneurship is that when you're working a 9 to 5, you're
Yeah.
so exhausted
Yeah.
that you forget to pour into the entrepreneurship or the thing that God give you because work, I do it. I love everyone at my job. I love everything. But when I come home and when I come home and I sit in my car to decompress, but once I start getting into my crafting and into writing, when I look up, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning and I don't even feel tired because I am in my place. I am in my zone. I am enjoying. So just working on everything piece by piece. And another thing is that when God gives you something to start, just start it, because a lot of times for me the fear was I always looked at the end instead of the present.
Mm,
I always looked at, well, I'm supposed to have this, so I gotta buy this. And it's like, well, just start here. And then while you start here, God will start sending people to ask stuff. If you can't have, you listen, if he gives a vision, he's gonna give you provision for it. He's gonna give you the resources that you need.
speak of
And I
things,
always tell him, I said,
sis.
you get
Speak of
okay.
things.
I always say, God, you gave me this, so you gotta help me. Okay, you gotta give me what I need to do this. So but my plan is to I do want to start a small pre-K school. Not too much. Not too many, not too many children, not too much there, but I want something intimate because being a director at a school.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. So
We need
yeah, that's
this.
the plan, but
And God's going to help you to do it too. Because
I
not
believe
only
it.
has He placed it in your heart, it's going to be a time where people are going to need this. Like I had told someone about a week ago, one of my clients, we're going to become the mama and papa shops.
Hmm.
Well, pretty soon I don't even think they're going to be malls because stuff is just shutting down. Franchise that we
Yes.
knew from way back in the days are like planning to close up. We see pharmacies closing down. We see so many different things happening. So we're gonna have to be our own school, just like you're saying. So we're gonna need people like you.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah,
need
that's I
folks
was
like
just
you to
sharing
create
that with someone
schools.
today. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah. But I was just sharing with someone today, because a lot of times we're looking at the world, how things are going, it's like, oh my God, everything is shutting down. But what if God is actually leveling everything out? What if he's leveling everything out for the believers to infiltrate the systems and start all kingdom things? Like my mind just be going, it's like, because he said that everything works out for the good.
Yes.
So it's looking crazy now. So what good could it be? Like, what if he's actually leveling it out for us? When
Breaking
things
up
were
the
so
fallow
hard, it's
ground.
actually at your level.
I believe he's breaking up the foul ground, and I do believe
Yeah,
that God always, in the midst of drought and lack, God shows his provision. He
yeah.
shows up. He shows up. And I think this is the time for us as believers to step up and to be more encouraged and to pray even more. And
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of the things that are being taken away, God is allowing it because he wants to become the provider and take
Hmm.
away from what the government. Now, it's not to say that what the government is doing is right,
Right.
but I had to think about it a little bit. And I had to ask myself, because I need to make sense of things. And I felt, I was like, okay, so God, what are we doing? Because there's so many people that are going to You know,
Yes.
man. And and the one thing I felt is he's a jealous God, right? And people have put their hopes and their dreams and their life on having the government supply all the
Mm-hmm.
needs, right? What if God is allowing? I'm not saying he did it, but what if he's allowing it to see and to allow people to switch and put
Yeah,
their
their
trust
trust. Yeah.
more in me and my provision because I'm going to provide for you. I love you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna make a way where there is no way. I will provide. He provided for his people back in the biblical days with Moses.
Mm-hmm.
He gave manna. And listen, if God is
Yeah.
the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if he provided then, he provided Drew, and he's going to provide even in the future, right? So I
Yes. He's
thought
gonna
about it
provide.
that way. And I'm like, he's stirring up the ground. He's stirring it up. He's stirring our minds. And he's trying to get us to see things through his perspective. And a lot of times
Yeah.
we get so caught up in what's wrong. Of course, if you don't have food to eat tonight, I don't have time to sit and read the Bible, Sister Beth. But
Right. Right.
I'm hungry.
I'm
Okay.
hungry.
But certainly it's where we now have to stop and say, okay, instead of me getting a check or a card from the government, now I have to literally go and ask God, where would I be getting food this week?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to be provided for
Mm-hmm.
this month? How am I going to be provided for this week? Which is tough, but we're living in tough times. And
Yeah.
I do believe God's going to provide.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen because we
I
see
believe that as well.
it will. I believe so. Even in the tough times, we will. So,
Yeah.
with the education, with the school, the preschool that you're planning on having and stuff, because I'm believing for it. I'm going to pray for it. I'm going to ask God to give you the guidance and the footsteps in order to guide you through to
Yes.
get what you need to get because we really do need that right now, especially being a woman of
Yeah.
God. And I believe this is going to be an awesome thing for this season and planting the seeds in the minds of the individual in these kids' minds. So that's good. Kudos
Yes.
to you,
Yes.
sis. Kudos to you. So we're gonna go into the comments because it's already seven. We're heading close to the closing, and I wanna touch base. There's so many people that are just loving on you, sis. And I'm not good with names, so I don't want to mess anybody's
Oh.
names up. I hate, listen. Well, first of all, I'm from Trinidad, right? And my accent,
I can
sometimes I'm
hear. I can hear your
so
accent.
conscious about my accent. I've been a citizen of the United States for over 25, going on 30 years. However, I wasn't born here, so my accent still kicks in every so often. And I sometimes
Uh huh.
mispronunciate things, and I'm very conscious about that. So, anyone who I've messed your name up, please forgive me. Forgive me. Charge it to my, not my heart. So, have some. I'm just gonna call out some of them, and it's a lot of folks in here. So, sis, whenever you get the time, go on social media, see all the comments. They are sending so much love to you. We have a Tasha Crafton.
Oh.
Tasha Crafton. She has been on here from the minute we joined in. Hello, Tasha. Hey, how are you, sis? I know you from my being my Facebook friend. I've seen some of this stuff. I'm very excited to have her on here. Hey Tasha, she says hello, my sister. And she sends her love.
Hello.
We also have a Miss Williams. She says she's a great person and an educator, a powerful woman of God. We also have a
Thank
Serena
you.
Scott, who sends her love. We also have Van Brown. Man, hey man, he is on the radio station. Hey Van, he is always a supporter of the grind behind the business. He says Good blessed evening, everyone. He wishes everyone. We have Val.
Hello.
Oh, Val, how are you, sis? She says this is wonderful. The world needs you. Yes, I agree with her. I agree with you, Val.
Oh,
The
thank you,
world
Val.
needs her. Yes, yes. We need people like you, sis. We do. We really do. God plants us in every area of life and professional system, but he doesn't just plant us there for just to look pretty, right? Even
Right,
on the
right.
job, he's using us as beacon of light, salts and lights of the world. That the way, even if we can't
Mm-hmm.
speak a thing, we live a certain lifestyle that others can see and just
Mm-hmm.
cling to him, right? So, yes, yes, yes. God is using, let him use you mightily. We have a Angela
Amen.
Lipsey. Is that a family of yours? She
That's
said,
that's my sister.
"Hey, sister." She says, which she will probably start working on tonight, middle of the night. So she's talking about.
Yes. Yes, she knows. They know. Like once I get
Yes.
something, I just start going.
And then there's a credit. She says her brains is about to be on fire. Yes, but that's it. Listen, all it takes is just that little spark, right, to light a fire.
Yes, that's
It
all it
don't take too
takes.
much. It don't take too much. But I'm glad I lit the fire because, sis, we need this. We need this. So I'm gonna keep up on this because I'm gonna be
Yes.
on you like, hey, what's going on? So you can be on you by next
Yes.
year, God
Yes.
willing. God willing, because it's all by Him. You can be on here telling us about your new project and what you have started and
Yes.
all that you're doing. We can bring you back and it's going to be awesome. Um,
Awesome. Awesome.
we have a Sierra Scott that says, I bought that to study with my teen youth adults. It's also helped me as a parent, still learning the word of God. It brought my family closer, not just together, but with God being in the center. So your book is doing so much.
Yes. Thank you, Missionera.
She's sharing testimony. So that's telling me you're doing something in the kingdom. You're breaking some stuff down. And this is why I'm saying your book, we need books like yours. Because it doesn't just touch on the academics. It touches on the emotions and
Hmm.
yeah, and it also, now what do you feel about, because I always believe that depending on the stage of the child, whether little kid, infant stage,
Hmm.
preschoolers, all that stuff, they have a certain language.
Hmm.
They have a language, right? And it took me a minute to get that, because I think back in the days we were raised that kids should stay in their place,
Yeah.
and you know how that was, and there weren't a room for something like this. And as we
Right.
evolve as individuals, as grown-ups, um, I started understanding that depending on the stage that that child is in, there's a language. And
Hmm.
what do you have to say about that? And to talk, just to give an advice to parents out there, especially when it comes to kingdom, especially when it comes to God's economy, because teach them God, that's fine, but there's a language in which we have to teach them, whether academics or spiritual, right? What do you have to say about that?
So I always say, as the parent, I don't have any children,
Hmm.
but I have seen a lot, with children. And as a parent, they need to keep God as their foundation because there is no blueprint. There is no book to parenting, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of times parenting, you're doing or you're trying your best. You're either trying your best not to raise your child how you were raised, or you're
Hmm.
trying your best not to raise your child, or you're trying your best to raise your child how you were raised, depending on how you were raised. But the language, oh my gosh, it it's like a ringing cymbal, especially when God is showing it to you.
Mm.
Just be mindful, because sometimes you got to listen to the silence too. You got to you got to look at the behaviors, and I always say that, at work, sometimes, for example, not going to share the child's name, but we had a child and he started acting out.
Mm.
And, the child then said he missed somebody that passed away.
Mm.
And so we were all going through that. The whole school was going through it. And sometimes us as the teachers and the center director, we were going through our emotions and we almost forgot to pay attention to the children, you know? And so when I saw that, that just clicked, hey, this is what's happened. So you have to be aware of the cues, the ones that are spoken of and the ones that are not spoken of.
Mm.
You have to be aware that sometimes you have to, no matter how deep your emotions is or no matter how strong you feel about a certain situation, you have to, give them space to be able to develop and to understand, but you still, as a parent, you still have to, have those barriers and parameters, to protect them,
Mm.
but at the same time, you really have to, pay attention to those cues, the silent ones and the very loud ones,
Yeah.
because a lot of times that's well, not us as parents. So maybe I'm speaking some. Okay, but a lot of times, parenting can be hard,
Yeah.
because you're dealing with yourself too. You're dealing with your emotions. You're dealing with things you've been through too, and now you have to know when to come out of yourself and to take on this other person's feelings and help them through it when you're still trying to get through some stuff yourself. So it's a lot. And that's why I said, you have to have a passion if you're, to work in the field and to even use the tools that God give you for the field. Because if not, you will pretty much be how the old school used to be. Oh, they're just crying because they're sleepy. Oh, they're just crying because they're hungry. No, they're crying because something is wrong.
Something's
Something
up.
is wrong deeper. So
Something's
yeah,
up.
so that's my take on it. Just be available to listen,
Yeah.
to the stuff that's said and not said.
Yeah, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. It requires a lot of patience. I was just talking to Val, who just gave you such an awesome greeting, and I remember her telling me that her daughter was having some, she was crying in the background and whatever, and she was telling me all that's going on with the kids and whatever. And I remember saying to her, "Baby, my child, my one and only, is 27. Mm, I don't I don't even know what that looks like anymore, and neither do I want
Yeah.
to.
Right.
At my young and old age, I want to say. I but I worked with some awesome teens this month, and with the teen entrepreneurship program, and it just brought my mind back to where they were. And I was
Yeah.
like, I said to myself, I wish my daughter had this type of tool and resources that they have now. The generation is so different.
Hmm.
And I guess that's
Yeah.
why I brought up the language, because what I understood back then, even as a parent, I see different now as a grandmother, as someone who works only with the adults, and the way how our mind is. So I can't imagine of going back there, but yeah, parents have to deal with so much coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially now, and it's scary because we all know how sometimes that frustration can be taken out on the children. And so it's so important that the parents get what they need so that they can be a
Yeah.
better resource or a better support for the children, even for what you're telling us based on the books that you're providing, with the emotional part of
Hmm.
it, the spiritual part that will help in such a great way, because it helps that brings the behavioral part of it together as well as the academic, and then everything, because God keeps God in
Hmm.
the center. But yeah,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what a parent
Yeah.
have to go through now, as a parent who has a teenage
Yeah.
child or under It's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot. Financially, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Emotionally, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then if the
Yeah.
marriage, if they're
Because it
married,
is
it's a lot. So we're
it is a
praying for
lot.
you
Yeah, I
guys.
agree.
You want to say
Thank you.
something?
No, no, I was saying no, I was just confirming what you said. I do agree it is a lot for parents because um me as a single person and no children, I can, express how I feel about how things are going, and I don't have to watch what I say or my emotions in the house because no one is there. So as a parent, you got to take all of that what you're feeling and you got to put it on hold until you're able to let it out because your child is watching everything that you do.
Wow,
So
wow. Do you enjoy even as a single parent, I hear the joy in your voice of, but you got so many kids that you interact with and they
I
love on
do.
you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't have any children yet. But
Do
yes,
you plan on having
I
kids and getting married and such? Because some people
I
don't want it.
that's the goal. Marriage,
Awesome.
and if the Lord wants children, if He allows me to have children, then yes. But the goal is marriage.
Yes, yes. You would make an awesome mother, sis. You would make an awesome mother.
I hear
Providing,
that a lot. Thank you.
yes. No, you will. Because just having the personality, the education, and all of that, and all the stuff that you bring to the table for other kids, it would be an awesome
Yeah.
resource to have a child and provide that for the child. So we're praying for you too. God's going to bless you with that beautiful, that handsome husband so you can have that
Yes.
beautiful child. So we're praying for that as well. So, sis, this is the time where you get to share your contact information. I think we've been showing your phone number and your email. But if you
Hmm.
are having any events or anything that you want anyone else to know about, and also tell them where can they find your book or get in touch with you for even the victorious teen, or the ready set learn, or for any books, let's hear how can they get in touch with you and where can they purchase books.
So all of the books are on Amazon. The Victorious Teen and a couple of the Treasure Journeys are also on Barnes and Nobles. But I also have copies with me.
Mm,
So if you want to purchase a one, you can, hit me on my hit the cell phone number or also contact me through email. Also have an Instagram page, but it's under R Nicole Creations.
mm,
You can find the books there as well. Also the email you can, if you shoot me an email with your information, I can keep you updated with different things that
mm.
we are doing.
Awesome. Awesome. I am so happy to have you today. I was so
Thank
excited about
you.
us. I think I had emailed you last week and said, "Hey, I'm excited. I just wanted to."
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
was
because
excited too.
Val had hyped you up. She hyped you up.
Thank you, Vile.
She loves you and she spoke so well about you, and it was just an awesome pleasure to finally meet you and get to hear about all the awesome things that you're doing, not just for kids but for the kingdom, building God's kingdom
Yes,
here on earth. That's what He brought us here to do. And it's not just about going on the street and evangelizing and, oh, come to Christ. Sometimes it's about teaching children
yeah,
and molding their minds spiritually as well as
yes.
academically. And this is how it shows up. This is how it looks. This is what it looks like,
This is
right?
how it looks. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, yes. And as you climb that proverbial ladder and you continue on your journey, we're looking forward to the school.
yes, 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 yes. Keep me in prayer.
Yes, sis. Listen, it's gonna be a challenge, of course,
Hmm.
because with
Of course.
everything that's great and big, there's a challenge. There's a the warfare, because the enemy sees what you're going to be doing. I tell people we got to look for that.
Yes.
That comes whether you like it or not, but it comes. But it's an awesome journey and enjoying the process, because the process strengthens us. The
It
process
does.
strengthens us in such a way, and we go in a certain way and we come out of the journey in just so strengthened and such a beacon for people, society, like you are,
Yes.
through your books. So I love it. I love it. I
Thank you.
wish
Thank you.
I could have had pictures of all the books so that I can share it, but I know you're working on that. You're working on your website and you're working on
Yeah.
moving forward. So we look forward to inviting you again when you get everything up and
Thank you.
running.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I know there's going to be other testimonies and people who are going to love what you're bringing to the table. And we're praying that God just blesses you and continues to establish the works of your hands, because He's doing it. I can see it, I hear it. I love what's being done for His kingdom here on earth. I'm hearing all the testimonies and all of
Yes.
the comments that are coming in. So, guys, don't forget to get on Amazon. Get on Amazon, get her book. Now, when I was looking up your book, I had to, there's so many people that are out there that have kids book, or they'll tie themselves to a name.
Hmm.
So you have to be careful when you go and you're typing out the name of the book. It's better when you type the author,
Offers, yes. So
especially
if you type
when.
my name,
So, guys, if you go on Amazon and you may not find the name, type her name, her full name, Rona, and Lipsey, and what it does is it brings up all of her
all of it.
books, and that's where now you can choose which book that you want to purchase, or just purchase all. And they're all fairly priced. And pretty soon she'll have her website where you can go on there and purchase it even through her. And again, where Barnes
Yes.
and Nobles, I know there's local Barnes and Noble stores within the community that you can go and purchase
Hmm.
a book. But definitely, guys, if you're listening under the sound of my voice, get out there, get a book, support her. We got to support each other. We got to
Yes.
lift each other.
Yes.
And that's what the grind is all about. The grind is all about promoting entrepreneurs such as yourself and building up the community, because we are the beacons of light. We are the one that brings the innovation, just like you're doing by providing a book that provides spiritual, academic, and emotional support for children. You don't see a lot of books like that. You don't hear about books like that. So, support your sister. It can be an awesome gift. Christmas is coming. You may be a nonprofit or a youth service or a children's ministry or a nonprofit that may need a book like this or one of the books that she has
Hmm.
mentioned. Get in touch with her. She's on Facebook, she's on Instagram,
Hmm.
and that you can find her. And also you can reach out to my sister by calling 347 719 1215, or you can email her at let's ready early. Is that what
Let's
that
read.
is?
Let's
And
read.
let's wait,
Yeah.
let's
Yes. Let's
or
ready early.
let's
Yep.
read yearly at gmail.com. So it's LETSREADYEARLY at gmail.com. So now that we've gotten her information, you've got her contact information, you can also reach out to her again on Facebook and Instagram and get her book on Amazon. And sis, it was such a pleasure having you tonight. The time
It
is
was so nice being
gone.
here. Thank you. Thank you
Woo!
so much. I enjoy myself.
I did too. I really enjoy having you, and I know that once you get things up and running, you'll be back again so you can talk about the school, and we'll have
Yes.
fun then too. And to
Yes.
all of those who are listening, who support it in any way, subscribe, you like, you pray about this, however you supported the grind, myself, the host. I am so thankful. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for just tuning in. You could have done anything tonight. You know, you had dinner to cook, you had family to take care of, but you are here on the podcast viewing the grind behind the business. And I am so thankful. Thankful to our special guest tonight. Guys, don't forget to reach out, get her book. And for me, you can check me out on www.bsf designs with an S LLC.com. Go on our website. You can check us out for the community initiative. You can also make a request for the grind, a reserve. We are here for you for consultation, any type of business needs that you may have, whether it's website, logo, you need to get your business running, you need to expand, you just want to start a business in general and you need a consultant. We're here for you. Just come reach out to us. You can actually call us at 267-279-9348, or you can reach out to us on the email at bsfdesigns with an S at gmail.com. And it was such a pleasure, sis. Have a blessed night, and we look
You
forward to
too.
seeing you again.
You too. Good
Look
night,
forward to having you
everyone.
guys. Bless. Bless.